Now, last week, doctors urged the government to consider introducing legislation to ban smoking whilst driving a motor vehicle.
The medics said that research has shown toxicity from smoking in cars is 27 times higher than it is in the home and 20 times higher than it used to be in the pub. They also said a ban would improve road safety.
It was also reported again today that a town in Buckinghamshire is considering banning smoking from its streets.
So, should the smoking ban be extended to include more public places, or are we at risk of eroding our civil liberties?
Joining us to discuss this are ex-smoker Jodie Marsh, who kicked the habit this January and now says she hates everything about it.
And smoker Antony Worrall Thompson, who has actively campaigned to try and overturn the smoking ban in pubs. Welcome both. Now, there is nothing... Pardon?
Ex as well.
Oh.
You're an ex-smoker?
8 weeks now, but I...
No cheating?
No cheating. I still believe in the rights of the smoker, though, so that's why
How many times have you given up before, Antony?
Twice.
Twice.
But this is the longest, I think.
Well, very good. Well
so
done.
why did you decide to give up?
Well, as much as I support the rights of the smoker, we all know it's not good for us. But the thing is, it is legal. It's a legal thing you can do. So I believe, as I'm getting older, you should look after your health a little bit more.
You started quite lately. You started smoking at 41, didn't you? What was that? Was that a
Ridiculous.
challenge?
Peer pressure.
Stupid thing to do. No, it was women. It's all your fault. It wasn't yours personally, but...
But do you think then, Antony, if you're successful in continuing with this kind of having quit cigarettes, in a couple of months' time, you'll have given up for 4 months, and you might then change your attitude about being allowed to smoke in the car?
I don't think I would get cars.
And in the pub.
Cars are different. I think if you've got children there, it's a very sensible thing to do. But 84% of adults who smoke with their and they have children will not smoke in the car. So is there any point in bringing a law in when 84% of people are already not doing it?
But there's a lot of people that do. You see it in traffic jams, don't you? You see a lot of people sitting there and smoking away.
Yeah, but with kids or without kids. I think when you're on your own in your car, you can do what you like. It's like part of your own home.
Yeah, but then I would argue that I'm totally against the smoking in cars with kids in the back. However, even if you haven't got kids, you're still chucking your dirty fag butt out the window onto the pavement, which most people do. I guarantee, I don't know what the statistics are, but it's probably quite high that they chuck it out the window as opposed to putting it out in an in-car ashtray.
You say that there's nothing worse than a reformed smoker,
I'm the
say that it
worst.
should be made, the whole thing should be made illegal anyway.
Well, there's nothing positive about smoking. Like, think about it. You know, all the other drugs that are illegal. I just think there's nothing positive about smoking. You can't name one good thing about smoking. It stinks, it's disgusting, it's bad for your health.
And people enjoy it.
And but do they?
Some
or is
people
it just
do,
an
they do.
excuse? Because
They do.
the one thing that I always thought...
Hold on a second. But do they, or is it an excuse? You were a smoker.
Yeah.
Okay. How many did you smoke?
40 a day.
Yeah. So
you must have enjoyed it.
Did you enjoy
I don't
every
think I ever
cigarette you had?
did.
You didn't enjoy?
No, I don't think I ever did. I think it's an excuse. Like, you know, okay, for example, one thing a smoker will do is if you're feeling like stressed, you'll go, I just need to go outside and have a cigarette. So you go out and have a cigarette. Well, it's not the cigarette that's calming you down. It's the fact that you've taken 5 minutes out of your day to go outside and just go.
I'm not sure.
And think about it.
Did you find it easy to quit a 40-a-day habit? Because I think a lot of people out there might say, well, actually, I would probably quite like to have your attitude, but I need a cigarette. I can't give up.
You just got to be strong mentally. So I believe you can do anything you set your mind to. So if you want to give up, you will give up. Like,
but haven't you just joined the health police? Isn't it one of those things that, oh my God, here's another reformed smoker?
No, I know I'm annoying. I know I am as a reformed smoker, because even I'm always on my friends' cases now, you know, like they'll light up in front of me, I'm like, oh, it's horrible, you stink, and I know I'm annoying.
Terrible hypocrisy by the government. On the one hand, they're trying to encourage us to stop smoking. On the other hand, they're desperate for the £9.3 billion it raises in taxation. And actually, if we're being honest, and I know I'll get a huge amount of criticism, they actually don't want us to live an awful lot longer, do they? I mean, let's be honest, pensions are becoming an incredibly bad, problem we've got in here. And really... So
what are you saying? You're saying that
I'm not trying to say they're encouraging them to die. No, but I'm just saying that it's hypocrisy. Jodie's right. If it's doing this much damage to us, ban it.
Ban it. There's nothing good about it.
But Antony, you're championing it, and you want to see it smokers allowed to smoke in pubs and
I think there's 20% of the population smoke roughly, but we're completely ignored. I say we, there's a reformed smoker. But they're completely ignored. There isn't an allowance for the smoker to smoke in public areas. And what they're doing is they're driving the smoker indoors, where people have got their windows closed, low ceilings, their kids are around them all the time. Really, shouldn't we be treated like adults? Make our own minds up whether we want to go to pubs.
What about this this town, Stony Stratford? And they're saying that this is a town in Buckinghamshire. Considering banning smoking from the streets, local councillor Paul Bartlett's proposed a new bylaw to outlaw smoking in any public place. If the plan is approved, by the town council, smokers who light up in public in the town could face on-the-spot fines.
They're trying to be like the supermarkets. They're going to kill off the town centres completely. I mean, fair enough, I think smokers are incredibly messy, and you're right, chucking cigarettes around is a filthy habit. But, you know, it is a legal thing to do.
So
yeah, it is legal.
Where do you think it should be allowed? I mean, for instance, in the States, I was in San Francisco a few years ago. This is a few years ago as well. And someone I was with was a smoker, but they weren't allowed to smoke in any of the parks. We went for a big walk. Not allowed to smoke in parks. Do you think it should be banned from parks here?
I think maybe there should be areas. You know, parks are big enough places to have a smoking area if you want.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Smokers don't mind being told to have areas, but they don't want to be stopped smoking completely.
So, in cars, though, as well, I mean, I know that we've touched on the fact if there's children in the back, you shouldn't be allowed to, but surely from a safety point of view, we're not allowed to use a mobile phone.
Yeah, and exactly, and how safe is it to be pulling a cigarette out of a box, putting it in your mouth, and then trying to light it while you're driving?
How easy is it going to be to enforce?
Impossible.
So you have the already stretched police force who would then what are they going to do? They're going to jump out in front of a car and stop someone from smoking?
You'll be the same as a mobile phone, yeah. It's exactly the same as a mobile phone. If you're seen on your mobile phone, instant on the spot stop and fine. And I think, don't they already do this in Dublin? I'm sure, like over in Ireland, there is already a ban in cars, or at least there certainly is.
So are we saying that there should be a ban in cars if they're containing children, which you both agree with? But if it is you in your car and you are a smoker, you surely should be able to say, you know, leave me alone. It's one of the few things I enjoy.
Exactly. Think of the lack of productivity in public vehicles. If there's no other person in the cab, is lorry drivers who are banned from smoking in a cab have to stop at motorway cafes for 10 minutes or whatever. By the time they get in, have their cigarette, get out, go and get a coffee, get back in. That, you know, is it harming anyone for them to smoke in the cab alone in their cab? I don't think it is.
I do wonder the extreme smokers in traffic jams on the motorway as well. You wonder how many people would end up pulling up on the hard shoulder to end up having a cigarette.
And that's fair. It's the most dangerous place you can be on a motorway, the hard shoulder.
Well, it'd be interesting to see what you think about this. Thank you both very much indeed.
Thank you. Yeah, no, our online poll is now closed, but keep sending in your comments on this and we'll get the results.